Howdy guys, how's it going? So we are out on a pretty brisk and very windy day. Due to the wind, I wanted to hike out to the area that has this small stand of kind of newish growth pine trees that we've camped at before, just because I know this spot is pretty safe from any dangers of fallen trees or limbs in any of these trees around this specific spot. I've checked over and there's not really anything, even if just a small limb or something, one of these broke off, wouldn't cause any major issues. The other thing too is where this is such a dense area of new growth, it blocks the wind very well. Like right now, I don't know if it'll pick up the audio, but like just all the mountains and stuff around are rumbling with wind. And I wanted to try out some new gear today. Probably the first thing you'll notice is this funky looking thing on my face. I'll show you guys that up close in a bit, but it works really well. Like I don't have a broke nose or nothing. But it's actually a really cool piece of winter gear, winter apparel that I feel like most people don't know about. So I want to show you guys that. And like just to give you an example, like just taking my hands out of my gloves to set up the cameras and stuff, you can see how red they've turned. And that's just because right now I think we're sitting at 23 degrees without taking wind chill into account. So that's why even just hiking in, I'm wearing these large gauntleted gloves because they're real quick and easy to take off, set up the camera, and then stick back on, and they warm up really fast. And then, so talking about what I'm wearing, I know you guys have seen me bring along this Helicon Tex Swagman roll, and a lot of you guys in the bushcraft camping community are probably familiar with this piece of gear. But I really wanted to see how it would do hiking with a larger sized backpack, rucksack, wherever you prefer to call it. And I gotta say, with the combination of clothing I'm wearing right now, I am completely comfortable on the move. So far being somewhat stationary, I'm still fine. This thing done a great job of blocking the wind. My biggest concern wearing it while hiking, especially to this spot, is I was worried about it getting snagged, because whenever you have it on in general, it looks kind of really baggy, but having the backpack straps on and the waist belt around me, everything was really contained, and I did not snag on a single branch, limb. Wasn't difficult crossing over fallen trees, logs, stuff like that. So that worked very, very well. And yeah, I'll take this off real quick so that you guys can get a better look, because this exact clothing layering system I've not tried before, but like I said, it worked really, really well. So, oh, there's the wind guts right when I do that. So this right here is the Arctis stowaway shirt. It's essentially a windbreaker that's fairly water repellent. That packs down to like the size of I don't know, maybe like a little bit smaller than a softball when you really compress it. And then my base layer that I'm wearing is a Thermo Wave base layer. This is the thicker base layer version. It is so warm. I mean, I cannot wear, because I've got the base layer bottoms on too, because it was going to be so windy. This Thermo Wave base layer set it's like almost too warm. Like you cannot wear it if you're going to be indoors in 50 degrees plus temps, because personally I just sweat half to death. And then this thing that I'm wearing to protect my nose and my face. So this is an outer U, and it's just got an elastic band that goes around your head, and it keeps your face and your cheeks warm. And where I have a beard, that works perfect. The thing that I've really, really liked about this is one, doesn't fog up my glasses while I'm walking. That's the biggest thing. For me, even with temps like this in the wind, like I have hoods on my stuff, so I use that to just kind of shield my neck. With my beard, unless I'm just like facing the wind for an extended period of time at these temperatures, I don't really have much of an issue with my lower face getting too cold. But what's nice about this is while I'm wearing it, my nose runs all the time, so I'm like having a buff or balaclava or something like that on. I can wipe my nose, and also it's super quick and easy for me. I don't have to remove anything if I want to drink water, and I'm always just down in water. So really cool thing, and you can combine this with, you know, a gator or something if you want to, and that'll prevent the glasses fogging up. So just a really small and unique piece of gear that I feel like a lot of you guys might be happy to learn about or find out about. So you'll be seeing me wear this a bit as we're in these cold temps. Yeah, so I brought out the ONEWIND Bivy tent because I know you guys like that video. You guys are really interested in seeing how that thing performs. So I thought we'd do another cold weather camp with it in some winds and set it up without poles and just use cordage. So I'm going to put this Helicotex thing back on because just the base layer in this wind shirt is starting to not be enough. I have my Snug Pack Spearhead jacket as well, but it's too hot to hike in, period. Like, unless we was like in single digits without wind chill, I don't think I could hike very far with that thing on. That's the plan. Boom. There is our ONEWIND tent. And once again, even though it's windy, I'm going to prove to you guys that jute twine is a phenomenal cordage for bushcraft and camping, because we're going to use that to set it up. So because of the temp and the wind and the lack of dexterity, this is going to take a little bit longer than usual, because I'm going to have to take my gloves on and off just to warm my hands back up. Yeah, so now to pull this thing out, I'm not going to be able to use the pre-attached orange cordage. I mean, I can still find some sticks and do it that way, but I just want one less thing to trip over, so I'd rather have it up higher. Just a basic nut there. Definitely gotta warm up the hands now. And that right there is not too shabby. Using that method, I still gotta take and stake out this back side right there. So I'll do that real quick. And I'm probably gonna leave these flaps down, those vent flaps, because we got the one up top there. And I'm not going to want the wind, so like our sleeping bag and stuff will be fine. I ain't really worried about the condensation. What I did right here at the edges, just because there's already little nubs on the trees, I just hooked those lines out for that vent so that some of this air can pass through and this tent's not acting like a complete sail. And I forgot, but that center back portion does not have a way to stake it out. So we're going to get the sleeping pad and stuff in there right now while it's daylight and, you know, warmer than it's going to be tonight. That way we ain't got to fool with it. Overall, I'm happy with how this thing is set up so far. sleeping gear. Also wanted to try new combinations. This is all stuff that I've used and field tested for a while now. But this is the Vertex Montana sleeping bag. I know for a fact the tent's supposed to be getting down to 15, 16 degrees. With this ThermoWave base layer, I'm confident that I'm perfectly fine with just the sleeping bag. Since I'll have this part right here zipped down. So I break this thing that keeps slapping in the face. But yeah, I will have this zipped up, so that will block pretty much all the wind. I was still debating on the whole side flap there, but we've got our insulated Tepa sleeping pad. Almost confident if I had this and a closed cell phone pad, I could probably sleep on frozen lake with it. I do wish they had a slightly larger stuff sack with those, because now that my hands are getting cold, it's a bit difficult. I got my Eaton Wolf pump, that way we ain't got to blow any humid air into our pad. Get that going. Now the two pieces of gear that you guys haven't seen me use in a while is I'm going to use the SOL Escape Bivy. Brought this just in case this shelter was to fail. The outside of the sleeping bag is very high, essentially waterproof and breathable anyways, but this is, I'm just going to try using this with the sleeping bag and see how it goes. Might take that off. And then something that I want to start using more is this Snug Pack Thermalon sleeping bag liner. It adds just maybe, you know, 2-3 degrees of warmth, but more importantly it will help you keep your sleeping bags cleaner, so you won't have to you can wash this instead of having to wash your sleeping bag. And then that right there is our stove we'll be looking at or using later. And if you're not familiar, this is a reusable emergency bivvy, but as we're doing now, it can be used for something like this. It's more breathable, unlike those, you know, the emergency bivvies that are like just 100% Mylar. You know, you can't reuse those, or you can't pack them back down small. I've used this one twice. Now it's the third time, and you know, it packs back into its original bag. This one only only reflects 70% of your body heat as opposed to about the 90 plus that the Mylar ones, the fully Mylar ones do. But this one is a lot more breathable. So just a little information in case you haven't seen those. And like with the pack size, these are really good to you know, just have with you if you got caught out. I'm hoping that the sleeping bag fits comfortably inside of the bivvy. If it doesn't, that'll be why we opt out of using it, because if any of the loft is restricted, then the sleeping bag won't be able to do its job. But yeah, it's one of my favorite sleeping bags. I showed you guys this in the budget sleep gear series. This is probably the best value sleeping bag that you can buy new on the market. And it is center zip, and then clearly, you know, this big with the side zip, that will be an issue on the actually. And it looks like the lengths match up perfectly. So that's great. Finally, we got our liner. Now this thing doesn't have a zipper at all. I kind of tend to just mainly use this to cover my legs. But yeah, it's just this really nice, soft, stretchy material that does have a draw cord, so you can draw it around your body. But just going to lay that right there on the inside, because you kind of need to step into it and then slide down into your sleeping bag. But just the look of this setup right here is making me want to crawl into it right now. Very nice. Make sure we don't lose none of our stuff sacks. Okay, now I want to go ahead and set up this serotonin wood stove. I knew I wanted to bring a wood stove with me because it's going to be so windy. Could have brought, you know, a fuel stove of some kind, but there's just so much wood and stuff laying around here, like twigs and stuff, that, you know, bringing a twig stove just makes sense. That metal is cold. Bring it over. Just sits down on that base tray, and we're good to go. And that is our riser. And really, because you got airflow underneath, you can kind of use it without a riser, since because of the cup we're using. But that's all we really need right there. And you got these other attachments, like we won't go into that right now because there's no way to demonstrate any of it. But we even have a grill plate that we can set on there. Lots of versatility with this particular twig stove. It's not just a metal box. So here's a closer look at the stove. We got our gap right here. I want to try something with this stove. I've not tried with it yet. So I got some pine cones on the bottom layer there, and you can see the air gap, and then these tiny sticks up top here, and then we're going to get out one of these UCO matches and stick it under there and see if them damp pine cones will catch. I am definitely ready to warm up my hands. This case is cold. This case is these are the matches I carry in my canteen kit. Okay, that one didn't go. I'm probably better off. I've also got some of these British ration matches. That wasn't the match's fault. The pine cones that I used, I picked up off the ground. They was damp. Like if I just use this pencil lead size stuff and packed it in there, I know that would catch no problem. So we'll try a couple of these British matches, and if anything, we'll just set some. I can take the pine cones out because, as you can see, my hands are getting red. I've heard these British matches are very temperamental about striking, so where that first one had started to give it a go, that might do it. It's definitely thinking about it. Okay, I see flame. I think we're good now. We definitely ain't going to have to do any blowing on it. That's for sure. And yeah, just having that little bit of heat is so nice. Well, I'm going to take and enjoy this heat for a bit and get some of my stuff straightened up, and probably get back with y'all whenever it's time to warm up our beef stew. I'll be putting that snug pack jacket on before too long as well. And then I wanted to show you guys why it's still light out, because the sun's going to set soon. This is the IFAK that I'm carrying with me today. This is a Refuge Medical. Obviously we got the cat tourniquet, scissors on the outside. I won't be breaking down this full IFAK right now. I'm going to do an individual video on it, I do so believe, because I know you guys have liked the My Medic Box stuff, and you know, I've got some different IFAKs that I would like to do individual kit breakdowns on, and that way you guys can get an idea of what's in these. This one's good because it has stuff, smaller injuries, you know, little burns, stuff like that, so be keeping your eyes peeled. Okay, well, it's definitely time to break out the Snug Pack Spearhead jacket. Also, I'm going to take off this windbreaker, just because that won't really serve us any real purpose. That was mainly to keep the wind off my sides and my arms. Ooh, it's definitely cold. I just got a weather alert on my phone for this area tonight. The wind chill temps are going to be -12, possibly even a little bit lower, like -15. But for the county I'm in, with wind speeds and everything, probably going to be looking at -12. So we're going to be hunkering down in our sleeping bag. Definitely can't do hardly anything right now without having gloves on. I'm going to have that right there, just kind of at the ready. Ready to get a hot meal in me. Got a Phoenix headlamp. Oh, alrighty, so we got our canteen cup. I can't remember, I'm hoping this is, you know, the larger can of Dinty Moore beef stew. Not the largest can you can get, but can't really ask for much of a better, you know, quick and easy meal on a cold and windy winter night. I also really like these in particular because they have the easy to open can. I say that. If I can get underneath it, because I don't have any fingernails, so. But yeah, we got a nice cool base in our stove here, so just hopefully we'll be able to grip, or yeah, we should be fine to grip this while we keep our gloves on. Try to get this in here without spilling it everywhere. The can's been in my bag, but where it's liquid, it's pretty thick. So yeah, there we go, a nice canteen cup full of some good looking beef stew. You can set that on there. And that's what I like about this serotonin stove so far, is it's kind of perfect for a canteen cup or that mess tin that I like to use. And it's just really sturdy. This is the stainless steel model. They have a titanium model that we might play around with in the future if we like do any, like I want to take it any distances, because you know stainless steel is heavier than titanium. But stainless steel one is working great. And since like we really overall kind of have a minimal amount of gear, like there, I have tons and tons of room left in my backpack with this stuff, because that shelter's really small. The winter gear that I brought to be winter gear is, you know, it's small by winter gear standards. And these gloves have been doing really good. I couldn't remember. I think they're slightly fire retardant. I know the palms are fine. But as far as like the synthetic materials on this, so I don't think we have to really worry that much about working in and around this stove. Alrighty, and then this is going straight into my insulated cozy. Otherwise, like I said, it's titanium cup. But that took it a while to actually warm up overall, because one, the wind was coming through and drawing a lot of heat kind of away from the bottom, so it wasn't coming directly up. And then also the convection around that titanium. Oh yeah, but now I can just sit here and enjoy a nice hot cup of stew. Would definitely be nice to have a larger fire. But I'm gonna finish this and I will get back with y'all whenever it's time to hit the hay. Alrighty guys, it is time to hit the hay. I just want to be able to show you guys what it looks like for how I'm going to be getting into my sleep system. And then I got my tripod close enough where I can just reach out and grab it and pull it in. So, ooh, it is very cold and very windy. This spearhead jacket is amazing. Like I said, just that thermal base layer, and I mean, I'm toasty warm just sitting still. Just a second to take your hands out of gloves. Yeah, you feel it. Had to and untied my boots. I'm leaving my pants on for now in case I got to get up. I don't want to fool around with it. My pants are completely dry. So that's one thing. So yeah, here's that Snug Pack liner. So for it right now, I like to take and kick my way to the bottom with it, just so my feet are at the very bottom. And then I have all the material, but I don't really want it on my upper body yet. Then once I've wormed my way in, now I'll take my jacket off. Make sure I use that stuff as a pillow. Now, do this. Set this up. Zip up the bottom end first. That might have been slightly off camera, but zip the lower portion. Zip up her mesh. And that's all about getting warm, staying warm, and I will see y'all beautiful people in the morning. So yeah, these just go. Good morning guys, how's it going? Last night was an interesting endeavor. It was extremely, and I mean extremely windy, so much so that it was difficult to sleep just because, I mean, it was just so loud. Not as much, like the shelter wasn't really like flapping around, but just the way that it was kind of pushing the sides in and stuff and then kind of pulling back out, and just the gusts themselves of the trees, it was just really, really loud. But I'm happy to say that this sleep system handled it really well. Like, I think in the tent, since we was, you know, out of the wind, since I had this thing pretty much closed down aside from that top vent up there, there was a bit of condensation this morning, but where I didn't sleep much in the middle of the night with the high winds, I fell back to sleep, slept in a decent bit, and it seems like some of that condensation has dissipated some, but yeah, still a decent bit. For somehow I worked the Bivy kind of underneath me. Like the top portion stayed in place, but the bottom portion, like where the hood is, kind of got underneath me a bit. Sleeping bag done great. I will say, like, you know, this thing closes up around your face really good. I like having the hat because it keeps me kind of in place. But then, you know, like where my nose and stuff was exposed, I mean, it was really cold. So, like, this thing right here, sleeping with it, you know, like you don't even know it's on there. Again, I know it's a bit strange looking, but it's actually really nice for sleeping because then you're still venting all your breath and moisture and stuff out of your sleeping bag, but you can keep this section of your exposed face warm. And you don't have that same like feeling of breathing into like a balaclava or something where you just get feeling real moist and stuff around your mouth. That's still a good option, and you sometimes, like with certain temps, you have to do it. So, you know, not fully knocking it, but this is a new one and good option. I did take, and it's made its way to the bottom of the sleeping bag, so I can't really reach it, but that electric Akupa hand warmer, I did put it on low, just to have it, and I didn't get too hot. So, I mean, I don't really know. I think I would have been fine regardless, but it was nice having that to just warm the bag around the foot area. And yeah, all in all, it worked out great. Again, this Vertex Montana bag, I definitely, that's the last night's temps is pretty much, I'd say, the comfort limit for sure for this bag. If it was to be by itself, having that liner and the bivvy, and then being inside of the shelter, you know, made probably quite a few degrees difference. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, I really appreciate taking time to watch the video. Please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're not already, share the channel with your friends, family, anybody that enjoys good old outdoor activities and gear. Hit me up in the comment section, thoughts, opinions, questions, things you'd like to see in the future. I've got a couple good video ideas, or just video ideas that I want to do, a couple of unique ones as well that I want to try to get done before winter's over. And yeah, guys, until the next one, adios.